Welcome to D&D Conversations Over Coffee. I'm Jen, the Blind Bard, and I'm excited to talk with you about all things D&D and TTRPG. How's everyone doing today? I've got another coffee to try. This one is, I think it's called Twin Sun Tiramisu, and it's by Bones. Let's see how this tastes. This is good, and it's a Star Wars themed coffee. And I'm using my Page pottery mug, dragon scale. So it's really nice. If I won the lottery, I'd get a full dish set just of these because they're so good. I have a couple other dragon ones that I love using. So, what's new on the channel? I am almost done the long form. Just a couple more edits. Got to do a thumbnail, put a title on there, and good to go. So I'm hoping to get it out this week or next week, definitely by the end of the month. And let me know what you guys want to see next, what you're struggling with, if there's anything I can help you with, so that I can put some stuff together. So what happened last time? We did another Star Wars episode. It was super intense. And I think we're probably going to die today. If I don't die, if I get captured, it will be a miracle. Let me explain. So, as you know, we are wanted by the Republic for sedition. We have received some assistance from the CIS, and we are doing some freelancing for them, taking missions that align with their goals. The next mission that we were going to take was either the fuel depot or the power grid, power plant. So in order for us to do that, we needed more intelligence and we needed some fake IDs. We were figuring, get some fake credentials, infiltrate the system that way, get hired, do some intel and recon, and then develop a plan. But in order to get the fake IDs, we needed to find someone that would do it for us. So Lex had some underworld contacts, and we met Pelion, who provided some fake credentials for everybody, and also a getaway truck. He could guarantee the getaway truck for 48 hours. No, I think a week, I think. But my credentials in particular was a system analyst named Vassal Caro. Vassal Bjorn. And he was a system analyst. He had just passed away. Nobody knew, and they could guarantee maybe 48 hours before someone found it and tagged it. So this kind of changed everything because he worked for the communications tower. So we developed a new plan. I was going to go in there, go to HR, input our credentials, then go to the command deck, plant a Trojan, and walk out the door. That was the whole plan. And so when we decided to do this all at night because it would be less busy. So I walk in the front door and it's silent. There's no one around. I badge in without a problem. I go to HR and input our credentials into the system. And it turns out that they know us, and I was able to elevate us to trusted contractors. So no one's going to be suspicious of us, which works well. Then I go to the command deck and I plant the Trojan. Also, it plants a ghost profile, which includes a slicer override. So I have access to the system remotely. And then at this point, I should have just walked out the door. I should have just stopped right there because everything was going well. But I was on a high, let me tell you. All this slicing stuff made me feel powerful, like I was on top of the world, like I could do anything. And I didn't want to stop. I'm digital Jawa, after all. I wanted to find out more about my past and why someone was taking over my life. So I decided to search myself. I cross-referenced myself with what I already knew, Sierra Enclave, and also the data print I had of the person that is trying to research me. We don't exactly know who they are. We know that they're intelligence, but we don't know anything else. So there was that. And in order to do that, I went to the director's office. So I was able to open the door without a problem. Immediately, I notice that he's got a steaming cup of coffee on his desk, and it's still warm. So he's in the area. I don't know how much time I have. I have to be fast. So I go and I rifle through his filing cabinet, and I find a notepad that has a page torn out of it, but the imprint is still there. And it says, "She's alive." And I can't remember what else it said, but he knows who I am, and he knows that I've been causing trouble, and he knows that I'm alive. I also found out that my digital prints were found in the fire station, and which is unfortunate for me, but it's not a problem. I can deal with that later. I also found 3 data crystals, and I couldn't encrypt them at the time. I didn't have time. So I just pocketed them to encrypt later. They had weird titles like PRXVJ something. And just weird stuff that I didn't understand. So that's going to have to be investigated later. Then I went to his personal computer and discovered that Sierra Enclave was a destination somewhere. I don't know where. Also referencing Project Echo Wing and Sierra 13. So I'm not sure what that means. Maybe it says something like I'm an operative. So I don't know. I might be a drone or something. Maybe my memories are a clone. Sorry. Maybe my memories are falsely implanted. I don't know. But all the evidence seems to point that my identity is in question. And I am missing, I guess. Sierra 13 refers to me in some way. I'm not really sure. And maybe that's why they're looking for me. I don't know. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. But Anyway, I also found that my profile, Cassel Bjorn, was flagged, and it was going to be deleted. So, okay, they're on to me. So I deleted the request. So I'm buying myself a little bit more time, but I don't have much. So I'm like, okay, I really need to get out of here. The pressure is mounting. I'm feeling the need to go. But there's the comms terminal. I can't leave without hacking the comms terminal. Just one more hack. One more hack, and then I'm gone. So I try to hack it. And I set off all these alarms. The place goes dark. And the building is in complete lockdown. And I am panicking at this point because I can't see in the dark. I can't access the stairs because they're hidden and I can't find them in the dark. So what am I going to do? Well, the only way to go is out. I broke a window and I am a bird person. So I jumped out the window and I was able to feather fall all the way down to the ground without a problem, but not without being seen. We were definitely being pursued, and I was able to make it safely to the truck where everyone was waiting for me, and we took off. But we were still being pursued. So Lex was trying to find a place to navigate the city. She was trying to use her knowledge of the city to lose them. And she took us under a bridge because we thought it was a shortcut. It ended up being partially collapsed, so we couldn't go that way. We tried to back out, and our pursuers were closing in. We tried to shoot them and ended up collapsing the bridge, that part of the bridge too. So we were trapped. The only way to go was underground. So there was a manhole cover. We opened it and set off alarms there too. So we had to scramble down the ladder, and then we're in this subterranean space, and we were still being pursued. So we came to this bulkhead thing, and we climbed up. It was like a maintenance hatch or something. And then we ended up in this abandoned railway, and this old beat up rail car. And we were trying desperately to make it work, but nothing was working. And so we were unable to fix it. So we kind of sent it in the other direction, tried to set a trap for whoever was going to be pursuing us. But I don't think it worked. I don't think they bought it, because they're still on our tail. And meanwhile, I am getting so tired. I had an initial adrenaline rush when I was hacking and stuff, but all this stress has really worn me out, and I am getting really, really, really tired and having trouble just running and keeping up. Eventually, we found this corridor that led up to the surface, so we took it. But then we're still being pursued. We can't shake this tail, and we had to find a safe place to hide because I can't go on much longer. I'm exhausted, and there's no way I could keep it up for much longer. So we ended up finding this old, like, smuggler's depot, and we went inside, and there's all these empty crates and containers. Some of them are like tipped over on their side. Some of them are broken. There's a crane that we could possibly use if we could figure out how to use it. There's like a command terminal, a computer. There's these trenches that are like maintenance trenches and provide some cover. we were trying to find a safe place to hide, but there doesn't seem to be anywhere good. And that's where we left it. We tried to call for our like our shuttle to pick us up, but I think that was a mistake because that's how they knew we were there. And now we're just waiting. That's where we left it. So who knows what's going to happen? I think we are possibly all going to die because a Jedi is following us, and we don't really have equipment to deal with the Jedi. I have a blaster pistol, and I think Risque has some taser-like weapons and stuff, but we don't really have the right equipment to deal with a Jedi. It's possible I could be captured, and that would be the best case scenario. I am 2 strain away from passing out. So there's that. So lesson learned. I shouldn't have gambled. I shouldn't have taken all those chances. I shouldn't have done all that hacking and slicing. It cost us big time. It cost us all our credentials. It cost us the truck. And it might cost us our lives. So, yep, that was DJ's fatal mistake. And we'll see how it plays out today when everyone comes over to game. Yeah, Amy says, I hope we don't die in game. I like my character, but you never know. Amy, I hope we don't die either. I feel so bad that I caused all this. We could use me as leverage. Yeah, you probably could. You probably could, and I would deserve it. So yeah. So that was our adventure last session. It was so tense. And like I was on pins and needles the entire time. And I remember saying to Matt that I felt really bad for him and John and Amy because I was the one stealing the show and they had nothing to do. And he says, no, he goes, I'm enjoying watching you flounder. I said, yeah, I'm not really a strategist. He goes, I know you're not. But it's nice that you're doing what I always do. And I'm always the one solving these kinds of problems. And I remember like out of game, I'm like, do you think I should do this or this? And they kept on saying to me, we're not there. We're not there. So it was like, it was all on me. And I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm not used to being a leader. I am used to being a follower and following other people's instructions. And thinking on my feet sometimes is just not normal for me, but maybe it should be because I really want to be able to improv, especially when I'm, the dungeon master. And the only way you're going to get better at improvisation is to improv and just make the decisions and just go with it, even if it could be bad. And you never know. Amy says she loves me, but I was a little greedy, but I played my character. Yes, I agree with you. I think I was on a slicing high. I'm like, wow, this is awesome. I feel powerful. I can do anything. And I didn't realize that when I was taking my time and stuff like that, I was just adding more difficulty to the rolls. And, I think at the end when we were escaping, nothing was going right. Like whatever we rolled, we always ended up getting threat, or I think I despaired once. So things were going great until they weren't going great. And then they were going really, really, really bad. So yeah. But that was such an exciting game and I can't wait to play again. I really don't want to die because I do like my character. And I I am definitely going to learn from this experience and definitely not tempt fate again if I am allowed to live. So we'll see. Mm-hmm. So this exciting game was how we played it was we're using Mythic GM, and well, not exactly Mythic GM. We programmed ChatGPT to run Mythic GM for us, and it's actually working out really well because it gives us like weird stuff that we wouldn't have thought of. So normally when we play, and in the past, when you get, we call them wings, when you get successes, and I forget what the wings are called in real, advantages. When you get advantages, you can pick like what you're doing. And I always had trouble thinking of stuff like, okay, I have 3 advantages. What do I want to say happened? And how can I say it in a way that's going to improve the story and my chances? What I like about ChatGM is it will say, okay, you have these 4 options. You can do 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm like, ooh, yeah, I like the slicer override thing. I like the ghost profile thing. I can do that. And it's really great because I don't have to think. I could just pick whatever it says. And which is, I guess it's good and bad because it's less creative that way, but also it's less of a headache for me to actually have to think of something. So I really like that. And I like how it might take longer when you ask it a complicated question, but it comes up with like really good descriptions of like just the rooms and the corridors and all the little minutia that you have to, as the GM, like read out. So I really like that. I think it's like my favorite way to play now. And I wish more game systems used like the narrative dice because it's great. No one has to GM if they don't want to. Everyone gets to play. I think it's a win-win. And I'm going to make a short about it. Definitely, because I think it's fun. So that's my plans for I don't know when that's coming out, but it's something I'm going to work on. Okay. So I guess we'll leave it here for today. Next week is Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo. And of course, next Friday at 9:30, if you are able to check it out, please do. They are going to be live at EggCon, and they're having a bunch of different guests. I think Chet Mitten will be there. He's a really talented artist. I'm not sure who else will be there, but they're going to be having a couple of different guests. And I won't be able to stream next week. I'm sorry. But I will be back the following week. And so I'll miss streaming, but I'll see you guys again real soon. Thank you so much for watching, and may your rolls be high, your spirits higher, and may your voice always weave wonders. And remember, don't do what I did. Don't be greedy. I'll see you all very soon.